Hi, let us now look at the franchising business model. So, the franchise business model is a model where the owner of a business concept called the franchisor, which could be the brand, grants another party called the franchisee the licensed right to operate under the franchisor's business name and system in exchange for a fee or a percentage of profit. So you have a franchisor and a franchisee. Let's look at different types of franchise models. Normally, these are acronyms called COFO, FOCO, and FOFO. We will talk about it now. First one is a company owned and franchise operated business model called COFO. In this model, the franchisor, that is the company, owns the physical assets such as the store, machinery, etc. And the franchisee operates the business, and the franchisee pays a certain percentage of revenue as royalty to the franchisor. Next model is franchisee owned and company operated. It's called the FOCO model. Here the franchisee invests the capital to start the business, and the franchisor, which is the company, runs the day-to-day operations. The profits are shared between the franchisor and the franchisee. The third kind of model that's popular is franchise owned and franchise operated. FOFO model. Here the franchisee owns and operates the business. The franchisor or the company or the brand provides the brand, the products and services, the business model, but the day-to-day operations are handled by the franchisee, as is the investment in the operation. It's also done by the franchisee. Okay. What are some of the Indian franchise examples? All of you must have gone to a Cafe Coffee Day store. It's a popular coffee shop franchise across India. So Cafe Coffee Day operates in the franchise owned, franchise operated model. You might have seen Dr. Batra's homeopathy clinics. Over 200 clinics are there worldwide. It again operates under the franchise model. Internationally, McDonald's is a great example. Global fast food franchise. Okay. It primarily operates under franchise owned, franchise operated model. It does have some company owned stores, but those are few. The franchise model is also prevalent in international hotel chains. Marriott Hotels, for example, it operates under various models: company owned, franchise operated, franchise owned, company operated model globally. So in India, you have seen Domino's Pizza, incredibly successful in India with over 1,000 outlets across the country, operating under the franchise owned, company operated model. Tanishq, a jewelry retail chain owned by the Tata Group, again has been very successful in this model. Online jewelry company called Bluestone sells online, also has got over 150 retail stores, most of them operated under the franchise model. Raymond's, a well-known apparel brand in India, has successfully franchised its Raymond shop outlets across the country. And they operate under the franchise owned, franchise operated model. Right? It doesn't mean all the franchise models have succeeded. There have been several that have not taken off in Indian context. And some of them have been moderately successful. Subway, for example, fast food giant, global brand, Subway, has faced challenges in the Indian market. Many franchisees struggled initially with the high operational cost, location issues and competition, but moderately successful. American fast food giant called Quiznos entered India with much fanfare, but has struggled to take off with high cost, lack of localization of the product to Indian palate, and stiff competition. Cartridge World is an Australian printing solutions brand, very popular worldwide, has struggled in India due to lack of consumer awareness about refilling cartridges and competition from local alternatives. So that's a franchise model that didn't succeed. So having looked at this, what are the advantages of franchising model for the franchisee and the franchisor? And similarly, what are the disadvantages for both? We will now dwell into that. For the franchisee, the person who goes to a company and becomes a franchisee for a large brand or a large corporation, the advantage is brand recognition. They can leverage the established brand name and reputation of the franchisor and start a business in his own local area. That's a great advantage. The company or the franchisor also provides training and support, ongoing support, so that the franchisee can operate the business very effectively. And typically for a franchisee, it's a lower risk because it's a proven business model, great brand name. Other franchisees have been operating in other parts of the country or other parts of the world. Therefore, the risk is lower. You are only replicating what has been working across the country or the globe. So the risk of business failure is low because it's an established brand and operation. And what is the disadvantage for the franchisee? Obviously, one, it's not your own business completely. You have limited control. You have to follow the franchisor's rules and guidelines. You cannot avoid that. If you avoid it, you may lose the franchise rights. So, limited control. Two, you have to share the fees. We have to pay an ongoing franchise fee to the company. We have to pay royalty, all of which will impact the profitability. And thirdly, there is a huge dependence on the franchisor. The franchisee's success is tied to the franchisor's brand and system. For example, when Cafe Coffee Day went through a lot of financial challenges and the unfortunate incident with the founder, promoter of Cafe Coffee Day, the franchisees got affected for a brief time because they had to come out of all the challenges. So you are not a master of your own destiny, you are dependent on the franchisor's success. Now let's look at the other side. From the company, brand or franchisor's point of view, what are the advantages and disadvantages of doing a franchise operation rather than running everything on their own? One, rapid expansion. Franchising allows the franchisor to expand rapidly without making significant capital investment because the franchisee puts the capital. Two, there is a regular income. Franchises receive ongoing franchise fees and royalties even though it's being operated by an independent businessman, which is the franchisee. It reduces the risk. As a franchisee invests the capital, the franchisor's financial risk is reduced because somebody, a local businessman as a franchisee, is investing in the capital. But what are the disadvantages for the company or the franchisor? One, control. While the franchisors can set the standard, day-to-day operations are actually managed by a local franchisee, which may lead to quality control issues. If the company is running its own stores, it's operating its own stores, then they control the quality. But when a franchisee is operating, they may cut corners, is a danger. Two is brand reputation. If a franchisee operates poorly, it can negatively impact the entire brand and affect the reputation of the company across globally or across other parts of the country. And finally, profit sharing. Profit from each franchise are shared with the franchisees. Therefore, there is less money to be made because you are outsourcing part of the risk and the functions to the franchisee.